up, you guys? So glad to see you on this beautiful Saturday, one day right before Valentine's Day, and I'm off, so why not do another video for you guys? So today, since I'm almost done with this rotation, I said, it's fresh on my mind, so might as well talk about it. So today we're going to be talking about my pulmonology elective. So my pulmonology elective is 4 weeks, and it's completely inpatient except for one half day out of the week is outpatient clinic, which is actually connected to the hospital. So on my day-to-day is usually about 8 a.m. to about 3 or 4 o'clock p.m. And on some days in the morning, like on Fridays or Thursdays, we have basically procedures. Those procedures can vary from bronchoscopy to EBUS to BAL, and then those will be like actual surgeries, and then other procedures like thoracentesis, when you drain the fluid out of someone's lungs. That can be happening anytime, but if you're actually need anesthesia and you need pathology as well as everybody in the room, that's usually on certain days like Thursday and Friday morning. Other than that, it's about 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I usually wake up. I've been really proud of myself. I've been waking up doing about 45 minutes. I increase it from 30 to 45 minutes of workout of abs, legs, and glutes. So I'm super excited. So I've been doing that every day, six out of 7 days out of the week. So I wake up a little earlier, do my workout, head to the hospital, drink my tea, and go ahead and look at all of my patients and see if we had any new admits. So with a consult service, which is the service that I'm on, you basically will just follow patients, or if you even have any patients, until someone says, hey, this is someone from IM team that needs to be seen by a pulmonologist. Like, for example, my patient this week, they diuresed her, meaning they gave her diuretics using sorry. So they gave their diuretics to basically take all the liquid out of their body, and if it still doesn't happen, they may need to be tapped, meaning that they have thoracentesis. So that's when they call us, and that's the consult team. So that's when you go see the patient and you talk with the patient just like any other time, but specifically you're only worried about lungs. And that honestly took me some time to actually get used to, because all of the other electives that I've been in, except for OBGYN, is not so focused on one thing. So that took some time, because I'll be talking about some other things, and they're like, no. Why did they come in today? Why were we consulted? So my advice is, when you go see a patient, you do your regular physical exam, your regular questions that you ask them. You want to know why they were consulted. So you say on your presentation, when you're doing your oral presentation for your attending, you say, hey, this patient came in on February 6th for acute exacerbation of heart failure. He had, nocturnal dyspnea. He has his SATs were blah, 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 blah. They tried diuresing him. He or she doesn't follow up with a cardiologist, and et cetera. They tried these medications, and this is the reason why we're consulted, because on X-ray imaging, there was still fluid near and by the lungs in the costal diaphragmatic recess or something like that. So you want to know why they're consulted, and that took a little bit of time, because usually the services I've been on, like IM, FM, surgery, for the most part, you take care of everything. So just being focused on one little thing took a little time. So after that, after you go see your patient, you write your notes. I like to get there as soon as after workout, drink my tea, see if we have any consults. After that, go see my patients, round my patients. After round my patients, do my notes, finish my entire notes, and have it already ready for to be signed and have it co-signed by my attending. Because by the time I get to rounds, I want to have everything. This is the assessment and plan. If they have any additions, I can easily just type it in and then sign it off. I don't want to be just sitting around and not doing anything. So I have my notes done. And while I'm waiting for rounds to start, usually rounds start depending on attending. It can start at 10:30 in the morning, or it can start at like 2:00 p.m. because sometimes the attendings are also have their own clinics, like sleep medicine clinics and things of that nature. So sometimes those clinic days for them are in the morning, or sometimes those clinic days are in the afternoon, or we may have a procedure in the morning that we have to do and we have to push back rounds. So be adaptable, because you don't have set time. Hey, we're gonna, like an IM, like at 7 a.m. we're gonna start rounds, be ready. Like, it's not like that. So you have to be ready to adapt. For me, the best way to approach that is to get there early, finish my notes, see my patients, do all that before 9 o'clock. So whatever thing that needs to be done is done. Then I go to lunch, and then about 1 o'clock we may have like conference with the other fellows that are there, and that lasts about an hour, and that can be on various topics. And then that lasts for about 1 to 2. And if we haven't rounded yet, we'll round after the conference. And if we've already rounded, we just make sure all the patients are okay, make sure all the labs were put in, as well as make any communication for other teams. Because you have to remember, we are a consult team. So when we say like, hey, we're trying to roll out a PE, so let's go ahead and have a CTA, you have to communicate that you want the CTA ordered to the other teams, because sometimes they may not see it in the plan because they have a lot of patients. So you're constantly like in different pots, but mainly you're focused on why you were consulted and what is the progress of that problem, just that problem. So if you did a thoracentesis and that problem has been solved and you figured out what was the reason, whether it's by heart failure, whether it's by malignancy, TB, whatever, you are going to be signed off on that patient. And whatever happened to that patient will be taken care of by the primary team. So that part was a little bit getting used to, and that was basically my day-to-day. So I have some videos for you guys to see, and yeah. So I get to the hospital around like 6:30, 7 in the morning, and I start to look at all the notes from the previous day, like if the patient was seen by a nephrologist, if the hospital of medicine has seen them, changed their any medications, talk with the nurse as well, and see if the nurse put any information in regards to the patient. And you'll see me quickly just go ahead and do that so I can go ahead and get started with my day. Just got consulted, so I'm on my way up to go see the patient. I'm really not sure what's going on with this patient, so good luck.
So after going to go see that patient,
go do a thoracentesis. So about to just go upstairs and see. So I currently have like half the senses, which I'm not tripping. It's actually pretty good. I'm doing pretty good, which I'm surprised, which is also really good for intern year and stuff. So we have two. I'm gonna go see my patients. I came early so I could see my patients, write my notes. And because we have two procedures, I wanted to get done before the procedures. So it's currently like 7:15 in the morning, and I'm about to go run and see the patients real quick so we can get ready for the two procedures, EBUS as well as abroad today. So. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. For just to wrap it up and put it all together. So if you're gonna start pulmonology, make sure you understand some common pathology, such as like lung nodules, lung cancer, COPD, emphysema, asthma, bronchiectasis. And what does that look like on PFTs? Because you're going to be reading them, which you saw in the video. Like, I'm constantly reading PFTs, at least 5 to 6 per day, except for Fridays, because mainly that day is for procedures. So I'm the one that's actually having to read the PFTs. So I would definitely look at why PFTs look that way and the pathophysiology behind it, and some of the common questions that they ask you is like, when you want to talk with the patient who has COPD or asthma, you want to ask them when was their last exacerbation, have they ever been intubated before, do they follow with a pulmonologist, if they have any medications, how many times are they using that medication, have they had, if you think it's pneumonia, have they had a change in color of sputum, have they had worsening cough, are they having trouble walking up the stairs for CHF? Like, you want to make sure, and that goes back to understanding the pathophysiology in order to guide you to the actual questions you're going to be asked. And another question that I tend to forget is not their occupation, but do they have pets? Pulmonologists loves to ask about, do you have pets? Do you have birds? In specific occupation, like, not just what you do for work, but are you in any like chemical fumes? Is anybody at home smoking? Not just you, but is anyone on the house smoking? Like, they look at a lot of environmental things, because of course environmental causes some of that dyspnea and chest tightness and exacerbations of different pulmonary pathology such as like asthma, things like that. Are you around anyone sick? So you just have to just review that pathology of obstructive versus restrictive lung nodules, some of the physiology parts of what is residual volume, TLC, IRV. Just review your pathophysiology for pulmonology and you'll be fine. I'm never on call because it's a consult service, so really just the fellows, they just pick up calls and they really don't really have that many patients. And with COVID, getting a lot better, we haven't had as many issues with beds, so that part is good. So a majority of our census has been CHF exacerbation, COPD, malignancy, and those are the main ones that I've seen so far. But who knows, next week when I return, it could probably be something else. So I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great week. And I wish everybody that's in the match process, we're about 30 days away. So I hope everybody does well. I'll see you guys later. Bye.